Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Logic family. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. Be in the name of Allah, the compassionate, the caring. All praise belong to Him alone. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for His protection, for His safety, for His support going through these difficult times that we're going through right now. I wanted to send a quick video to you all, to the parents of Logic Camp, inshallah, to give you some talking points in terms of addressing what's going on today with the children. And the reason that what prompted this video was that we had one of the parents reach out to us and showed us a post on Facebook which was mentioning that somehow this virus is a punishment from God on humanity. And the question was, how do we talk to our children about this subject? And again, I take you back to the video that I made just yesterday regarding reflecting on the verses of Surah Al-Baqarah from ayah 155 through 157, where again, just to remind us all that Allah SWT is basically saying is that we will certainly test you with a touch of fear and famine and loss of property, life, and crops. Give good news to those who patiently endure, who when faced with a disaster say, surely to God we belong and to Him we will all return. They are the ones who will receive God's blessings and mercy, and it is they who are rightly guided. So again, what Allah SWT is telling us is that we will be tested and that we are sent in this world for a test. And that one of the examples that we have, and we've seen this in Logic Camp, we've actually went over this, and this is a good way to remind your children of the play of Musa alayhi salam and Fir'aun. And in that story, what we see again is that if there was anyone in human history, anyone who deserved to be punished on the spot, it was Fir'aun. Yet when Allah SWT sends Musa alayhi salam to Fir'aun, He says to remind him gently, so maybe he might reflect and remember his error and come back to God. And what we see in that story as it progresses is that God sends 7 trials or tribulations on the people of Fir'aun. And what they do is after every trial and tribulation, they turn to Musa alayhi salam, and Fir'aun goes to Musa and he says, Ya Musa, please pray to your Lord to alleviate this trial or tribulation from us. And what ends up happening is each time it gets lifted. Now, what you could say to yourself is, why 7 times? Like, what is God doing in sending these tribulations, which could be construed as punishments? And when you reflect deeply, it's God is literally sending these signs to Fir'aun, who's committed infanticide, who's enslaved the believers of that time, sending him 7 signs that hopefully he might have reflected and came back to God. And so what we see is that these trials and tribulations that we go through in this world are actually ways for God to bring us closer to Him, right? And another great example that we can use from the Quran is a story of the man with 2 gardens in Surah Al-Kahf. And what we see in that story is that, there's a man, he has this wonderful garden, and he starts getting arrogant, thinking that it's, the greatest thing in the world, and it's bling bling off the hook, and that it's better than, what his friend has, and he's completely full of himself, and he thinks it's never going to end. And his friend reminds him that, you probably should be thanking God for what you have, and that you're actually in denial of God by thinking this is all, produced from your own hands. So then what ends up happening is, in the end, God takes away that garden. Now, again, we can construe this as a punishment. Is that a punishment from God, that his garden was taken away? I would say that if we reflect on what he does at the end, which is he starts wringing his hands and lamenting that, oh, I wish I should have attributed, this blessing or this wonderful gift of these gardens to God. So he actually realized his error and he remembered Allah. What we see is that when we are tested, that it's actually Allah reminding us. And what I would say is that if we look at what's happening today with the virus, and again, may Allah want to protect us all, protect our families, protect our loved ones, and protect humanity from this trial and tribulation. But what it's done is that it's basically had humanity pause. That we're all living this life of hustle and bustle, and we're focused on just, getting more wealth and just building, our homes and our wealth, and then making sure our children are getting educated and that they're successful in this world. And that's what our whole focus is. And then we're just running ourselves ragged, just trying to get establishment in this dunya. And it's literally this virus being sent. I believe, and when I reflect on it, it's literally God sending time out to humanity. That what we see going on in the world today, there's still so much bloodshed, there's so much hate, there's so much chaos. And now what's happened is that it's literally time out. Everyone's paused. And it gives us all a moment to actually reflect on what's the most important to us. And we should take this time with our families to appreciate our spouses, to appreciate our children, and re-examine what is it that we're in this world for to do? What is our purpose? Why are we here? And where should we be putting our time and our effort? So my reminder to myself and to you is that we should thank Allah for the blessings of family. We should thank Allah for the blessings of our children. We should thank Allah for the blessings of being in this country. I mean, this is a blessed country to be in, even with all the trials and tribulations that we're going through. There's so many things that we should be thankful for. So the question again goes back to, what are we thankful for? Are we thankful for all the blessings? And are we those who are going to exhibit compassion and caring to the rest of humanity? Are we going to be of those who go out and help and contribute to protecting humanity, to making sure that we keep ourselves quarantined if we're sick, making sure that we keep cleansing our hands and, the environment around us to make sure that we're not spreading this disease to anybody else? Are we doing our part to be good during this test, or are we those who neglect? So again, I ask Allah to protect us all, to keep us safe, and inshallah to unite our Logic family soon together face to face versus over these videos or over the internet. So keep spreading compassion and caring, and start first with your family, and may Allah bless all of us and protect us. Subhana rabbika rabbil izzati amma yasifun wa salamun al mursalin walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Assalamu alaikum, and I'll see you all soon inshallah. Jazakallah khair.